Hello and welcome to another episode of the Embodied Union podcast. And I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Charlie.
And today we're going to be talking about respect.
Yeah, you wrote a really epic post this morning about this. It was really good. I love it when you just sit down and it's like, bam, 3 minutes later, post is done. You read it to me. It's like, babe, let's do a podcast. Powerful.
It was really good because it was also really alive for me in the last couple of days, and especially last night in men's group when we sat in circle around it and really got stuck into the weeds around this, that I really see this unfolding in relationship where men are really wanting to be respected by their partner or respected by their children especially, and they're not getting it because they're trying to go for compliance. They're trying to dominate, or they're trying to prove a point, or basically demand respect. And I've been working with this for ages because, as you know, this is the fertile ground of relationship, which is safety, trust, and respect. And all those things are an inside job. Like, this is the piece of it, is that, you know, often we're looking for safety, or we're looking for trust, or we're looking for respect outside of ourselves, and it's impossible. It's actually impossible to get.
I think it could be helpful to unpack what respect means and what compliance means, because then men and women might actually know like what it is they're actually asking for in relationships. So what does compliance look like?
Compliance is like going along, like you have to do it. I sort of see it as I comply or submit to somebody's desire or want because I don't feel like I have the freedom to choose otherwise, or my survival kind of depends on it. So it's like I'll submit, or I'll comply, or I'll follow the rules, so to speak. But there's a part of me that's not really wanting to. It's not wholeheartedly.
And then, so like respect is so different.
Yeah, respect is really admiring the qualities or the character or what achievement someone might have done, and that inspires admiration from me. Like, I admire that person, and that's the difference.
And so I think it's such a great distinction to make, because in relationship, often I want you to respect me, but what do you actually want? You want your partner or child to be listening, to not undermine, to not speak back, to follow the rules. If you don't do this thing, then you're not respecting me. And yeah, I just think it's a really great distinction. I think a lot of, I don't want to say men, but I know what men want from women is the greatest form of respect, which really is reverence. But I think a lot of men are actually demanding compliance, mistaking that for respect.
Absolutely. And in doing so, it's like, oh, I want my partner to be more feminine. Like, let's say this is an example, is like, oh, I want my woman to be more in a feminine. But it's like you're asking your woman to submit or surrender to you. And if she doesn't admire you or respect you, then you're asking her to like trip over or cross her own boundary as far as her own safety and trust in herself.
Well, she could do it, but it would likely be performance.
Yeah.
And it's on top of the fact that she feels obligated and like she has to, and if she's somehow not good enough if she doesn't. And so that isn't respect. That isn't admiration. That is like dictatorship, really.
Well, I sort of see it as also it's a way to appease your partner. And I honestly believe, having this experience in previous relationship where I really got, my partner was appeasing me, and I would be left feeling not nourished by it. And then I'd be almost gaslit into being told that I'm not receiving it or not taking it in. But I can get the sense of like, if someone is appeasing me, then the feeling that I get from what I truly desire, from the nourishment of the being pleased, doesn't land, doesn't touch.
It's so true. Let's make that so practical. I'm not going to assume that you're talking about sex, but my mind goes to sex. It's like if my masculine partner is asking me for sex, and out of obligation, I lean in and do it, but I don't really want to, so I comply, then I'm left feeling quite resentful in my body. But he, and maybe not even consciously aware, he is also left feeling starved, you know, because when I give him my body, but I'm not present and embodied and really open, then that doesn't actually, like you're saying, it doesn't nourish you, but you might not have that awareness. So then you end up not wanting more. So I'm sitting there, well, you can't let it in. We had sex last night or whatever. And it just feels like you want more and you want more and you're like, you just can't let it in. But it's because it never actually met the need, because I was appeasing you and complying, but from a place of like, I should, but I don't want to.
Yeah. Which again, that compliance is kind of like, this is the underlings of resentment, right? It's not to begin with. It's like, yeah, maybe your responsive partner, when you be direct and ask her for sex, it's kind of like asking her for love. It's like, love me. And when we do that to somebody, we often don't get admiration. We get the opposite. That's why it's like demanding respect this is not how it works. And
I can imagine it would just feel so different. Like if you're a man and your family are complying because maybe they are scared of you and you are a bit of a dictator, then that might feel good on some level because you feel like you're in control. It probably meets some safety need that you have. Like,
correct.
Okay, my family are complying, I'm in control, I feel safe. But it actually would not feel as nourishing as my family respect me. They actually really respect me. They're not complying because they're terrified of me and they have to, but they admire the man that I am. And like that feels so nourishing. So it's like, I want my partner to respect me or my kids to respect me. Are you being a man worthy of respect?
It's an interesting insight.
Well, I don't think that respect is just a given.
Absolutely
not. You
not.
should just respect me because I'm your father, or you should just respect me because I am your husband or partner, whatever. It's like, no, I think there are qualities that you can be embodying that inspire my respect forward. But then it's also on me. I don't want to be hanging around in a relationship with a man that I don't respect.
Oh.
That's also up to me. If I'm like, really, I can't respect you, I do not admire you, and if I can't get right with that, if I can't work on that, then the best thing I can do is exit out, because that's just painful for both.
Yeah, well, that comes back to that fertile ground, is like if there's not safety, trust and respect between you and your partner, then it's very difficult to build a relationship on top.
You better be working on building the trifecta, the fertile ground. Otherwise, yeah, you've got a battleground more than anything.
And I think too, it's like when we first meet our partner and we're in the honeymoon phase, and there is that getting to know and that admiring and loving. And over time, if there's things that aren't working and not being spoken to and not, the water gets to build up under the bridge, then it's no wonder it impacts the respect. It also impacts your own self-respect, but also your respect between you and your partner of like, it's a really hard thing to get back once it starts to, degrade in relationship. And that's why I also believe that repair is so important, is like you want to really be able to effectively repair such that it's not just a sorry, or it's not just a trying to catch each other out or win the fight and get one up on each other, because like that leads to nowhere as well. That's a house of cards in relationship, in my opinion. So it's also having the self-respect and the knowing of like, how do I repair properly? If there's something in relationship that we don't like, it's also like speaking to it in a way that creates more connection, because then we can both come back into that admiration, fascination for each other, which is a deeper sense of love. So, yeah, I mean...
What do you think, like if a man, we're being very gender specific, but I feel like men do want respect and women want love, and we want more than that, but like those really seem to be very collective. What do you think what kind of qualities can a man be like really working on honing and embodying to inspire respect in his family?
I think for him,
I think self-respect is the number one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, and
Respect yourself.
Yeah, respecting yourself, knowing your values, knowing and how to be congruent, which is like your thoughts, your words, and your actions are in alignment. And then having the self-respect and self-discipline for yourself of like how you want to show up in your own life, you know, because it's never by telling, it's by leading. It's like who you're being. It's the embodiment of self-respect. It's like self-respecting yourself with how you look after yourself or how you carry yourself or how you work and how you provide and all those things. But I think too, it's a lot of the time, I sort of get the sense that men had no idea what their values are and then don't really know the direction that they're going in their life, and they're seeking validation rather than it coming from within. Yeah. So it's like, I need respect, I need this, I need that. I'm demanding for it. It's that immature, externalized validation that is insatiable, and no amount of sex, no amount of your partner submitting to you will ever give you respect to yourself.
It's like they're trying to fill a void.
Totally.
I don't have that self-respect piece, so I'm going to demand it outside of here so I don't have to sit with the fact that I don't respect myself. I think like one of the things that I respect and admire about you is that you do respect yourself so much that you will say no to me. You know, like you'll have a boundary. You'll be like, I can't do this right now. You will look after you before pandering to any of my wounding that might be coming up. And even though that can be really confronting and painful in the moment, when like my little girl is like having a tantrum, I always, in hindsight, I'm like, fuck, I'm so glad I'm with a man that has a boundary, that has a backbone, that has a spine, that says no, because I can trust that man. If I had a man that I felt like was weak and coddling me and like crossing his boundary, it's like a part of me might feel like, yeah, well, that's what I want. He's complying, but I wouldn't respect you.
That's right.
I wouldn't admire you. And if I don't respect you or admire you, I'm also not going to want to open my body to you. You know, it's like we think we want compliance at times, but it's like it's actually a disservice to the relationship unless it's coming from like, you genuinely want to do this thing for me. It's like respect and admiration over compliance. How can we be the men and women that inspire that in our partner rather than just trying to demand it and pry it from them to fill the deficiency that we feel about ourselves?
Totally. And when we are in that deficient state, if we're operating out of that, we use the car that we drive and the status that we have and the amount of money that we have. And, you know, like I watch it play out where it's like, you could be a millionaire and women still go, nah, you know, and it's because
definitely good women.
Yeah.
Good women will.
Yeah. It's like, no. And this is the thing with it. It's like power doesn't actually mean that you automatically gain respect of somebody. It's like, it's really up to each individual about what they admire in themselves. And that's the thing. I try and explain this to men. It's the same thing with reputation. Respect and reputation are kind of a similar thing. And it's like, you don't necessarily have complete control over how someone respects you or if someone, you know, admires you, because it's up to them what they value. So it's also knowing that for yourself. So there is no point of trying to get that from somebody else, like respect. You really want to be in alignment with yourself such that you respect you. And when you're good and you're aligned and you feel solid, that's magnetic. To me, I'm always trying to encourage men is like, build your own garden, be the garden. If you want to catch butterflies, be a garden, you know, because otherwise you're running around trying to catch them with a net. That's the external validation.
And then put them in the jar and like, you fly for me.
Yeah. All the containing, you know. And it's, I kind of see this as well as just, very generally, it's this piece around men wanting women to be more submissive, or that traditional gender role, and why women, I feel like, struggle with it is just not fully having the trust or the safety from it, because it's coming from this needy place or this empowerment place. And I could go into the patriarchy and all this stuff, but it's like, to me, that's all immature masculine. That's out of alignment masculinity. And what I'm sort of speaking into is just being congruent, having the self-respect, and that self-respect develops self-esteem and self-discipline. And I think that's the way forward for men.
Yeah, I think anything that you feel like you're wanting from your partner, go and cultivate it inside of yourself. Go and be the woman or the man that is a match for the thing that you're saying you want. Like, if I want Lindsay's, what do I want from you? Mm-hmm. It's different. I don't feel like, this is what I mean. I feel like men want respect and reverence and women want love. I don't necessarily care about I do want you to respect me, but that's not at the forefront of my mind. Like, I need his respect. It's like, I want your presence. I really want his presence. And so if I want my man's presence, I get to be the woman that inspires his presence forward. So that means I'm not just going to go to him and like gossip about things I'm chatting to my girlfriends about, or I don't want to just come to him and like be in my full masculine mode, like work mode, business mode. It's like, okay, if I really want his presence, why don't I spend some couple of moments just really dropping into my body? And when I go and speak with him, it's from a very embodied place. Like, my heart is open. I'm really present. And then that is going to inspire his presence forward quite naturally, rather than just me demanding, why aren't you being more present with me? So it's like, we can take our power back. It's like, if you want your woman's respect, okay, rather than feeling like you have to manipulate her or control her somehow, what can you be in the practice of every day? So that she's like just effortlessly and organically bringing that to you. It's a byproduct. What you want is actually a byproduct of who you are being.
Absolutely.
Just put that on a t-shirt.
100%. It's be the media, like, be so doing your thing that it inspires your partner.
Be the muse.
Yeah, totally. It's just like, if I'm thriving and I'm on mission and in alignment and on point, it's easy to admire our partner when they're really charging forward in their life. It's hot, it's attractive. It's like, yes, you're lit up and happy and vibrant, and that, transfers over to your partnership. So pretty much feels like it.
I just want to also add, it's not about being perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Like, one of the things I really respect about you is when you fall from grace, how quickly you come back into your heart, how quickly you will come and repair with me, how quickly you will soften. Like, the fact that you are an imperfect human, it gives me one of the biggest things that I admire about you, which is like how you, like you said, you do the repair work with me, and we collaborate through our human messy moments to come deeper into growth and healing. So we get to fuck it up, we get to be messy, but like, that doesn't mean that your respect goes out the window. It's like, how do you then come back from that? That, honestly, I have a lot of respect for you, for your capacity for that.
Likewise, my love. I love that about you.
You taught me how to repair. I couldn't repair before you.
Skills are relating. So thank you so much. If that was a topic that interests you and you are wanting to work on this, or this is something that you're struggling with, then I would love to work with you. If you're a man listening to this and feel the call, then please reach out. We would love to support you. And if there is conflict happening in relationship and it's looping, or there's a pattern that's happening that you're noticing and it's not getting better, then also reach out. You can get in contact with me at Lindsay B on Instagram and Embodied Union on Instagram.
I am Charlie S. Hannah.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Love you, sweetheart.
Love you, critter.